What's going on, guys? Dan here for BladeReviews.com, taking a look at the Spyderco Delica 4. This is a quintessential EDC knife, and I'm sure many people who are following the blog or subscribed to me on YouTube are wondering, hey Dan, the Delica is like one of the most popular knives in the world, and it came out years ago. What are you doing putting a review out now? And that's a fair question, but my answer here is, guys, there's a lot of knives out there, and there's just only so much time, and there's only one me. So I definitely wanted to make sure I hit this one. I'd like to try and do reviews of all of the most popular knives, just to have one spot to put them all, and just to kind of weigh in and reflect on them, offer my own opinion and little twist on the knife. So with that said, let's dive right in. This is a personal favorite of mine, and it is indeed long overdue for review. So what we have here is a 2 7/8 inch blade, a 7 1/8 inch overall length, and a weight of 2.5 ounces. So this is the perfect EDC knife for many people. They just they love it, and it's easy to see why. It's light, it's slim, and it does the job well. So great specs, and yes, it's just mostly an EDC knife. I like it for that. General utility, very handy knife. So let's talk a little more about the blade, which is made of VG10, a Japanese steel. Spyderco uses a lot of VG10 in their Japanese-made knives, and for good reason. It is a high-quality steel, very hard, and holds and can take a very sharp edge. It can be a little more difficult to sharpen than some of the softer steels, but in my experience, it is worth it. And I've seen some guys on here who get these knives so sharp they can whittle hairs with them, like literally split hairs in half down the center. So pretty wild, and just goes to show how good VG10 can be. So I'm definitely a fan of VG10. And with the Delica here, we have just a plain drop point blade, nice belly there, pretty sharp tip. It looks like it's blunted a little bit, but that thing is pretty damn sharp, if I do say so. And if you see here, it does come to a nice fine tip. Great for opening packages, kind of piercing tasks and stuff like that, where you need to get a little bit of penetration power. Very nice. But of course, on the flip side, with this kind of tip, you do need to be careful. I definitely wouldn't use this as a screwdriver or a pry bar. I really wouldn't use any knife like that, but especially a knife like this where the tip is not reinforced, you want to be extra careful. So aside from that, one notable feature is the full flat grind on this knife. Previously, this knife came with a saber grind, which is a hollow grind starting about a third to halfway up the blade. Spyderco decided, due to popular demand, I believe, to try this out in a full flat grind, and I think it's a nice choice because it just makes for an excellent slicer. It's a very clean look, and the full flat grind has gotten really popular these days. So, and I think with a lot of the Spyderco blade shapes, they just kind of beg for a full flat grind. So I like it on this knife. Moving on to the handle here, another great thing about the 4th generation of this knife is the choice of handle colors. Of course, all the handles are made in FRN, fiberglass reinforced nylon, unless you were to get one of their sprint run knives, where they have different handle materials. But for your plain Delica 4, it's going to come in a nice lightweight FRN handle with your choice of color. I've got green here, obviously, but they also have blue, purple, brown, gray. I think even the old classic black, if you want to be boring. And it's great. It adds a little character and maybe even a little bit of collectability. So that's pretty fun. The handle, it is, like I said, FRN, and it's got nested liners. Let's see here. I've got a flashlight, and I might try and illuminate a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see any better in there. I might need to get some new batteries for this guy, but oh yeah, you can see a little bit. It is, these are nested liners, and they are milled out. So it's a strong design, but it's also lightweight. One of the hallmarks of a good EDC knife. And I do like the handle design. You know, I don't mind the plastic. It feels actually pretty high quality, not cheap, and it is nice and light. So, moving on to ergonomics, the main thing about this knife is you can get a comfortable four-finger grip on it very easily, and I do like that a lot. Spyderco uses a lot of 50-50 choils. For example, let's take a look at this little dragonfly. You can see it's got this 50-50 choil where half the choil is the blade stock and the other half is the handle material. Well, the Delica does not have that, which is a little departure from a lot of their designs, but I'll tell you the handle is still big enough to get a nice comfortable grip, and you're up there pretty close too. So for detailed tasks, you know, you can choke up pretty tight on this knife, which is great. Of course, the texturing on this thing is superb. This uses Spyderco's bi-directional texturing, and that means you can get great grip at all angles. There's also some more texturing done on the back of the handle. Very nice. And you also have some jimping here on the very large thumb ramp. So perfect for keeping control, and even in wet and kind of slimy environments, you can still maintain great control over the knife. The pocket clip is another outstanding feature here. It's a simple black spoon clip, but it is mountable on all four corners of the knife. Again, you know, we're going back to EDC. It's something you're going to carry every day. You want the knife to be comfortable. You want it to be clipped to your pocket or wherever you're going to clip it in a manner that is convenient for you, whether you're left or right-handed. So having the option to put this on any corner is definitely a nice feature for frankly, their flagship EDC knife. So great job there, Spyderco. There is a small lanyard hole if you're into that. As you can see, mine is without a lanyard, and that's probably how I'll keep it. But yeah, the clip is great, and the handle overall is great too. Moving on to the deployment, we've got a 13mm spider hole, nice standard size spider hole, and it moves freely, nice and smooth. It is a lock back, so this isn't like the loosest deployment, but with some practice you can flick this knife open very easily, and the deployment, it can be very good. The lock back on this knife is solid. There is no blade play at all. Very strong design. You can see it's got this little Boyd dent, and my good buddy Stefan, he he said it's got the Boyd dent, and you don't really need to worry about it, and I tend to agree. It's designed to prevent you from accidentally disengaging the lock, but whether it actually does anything, you know, I don't know. The lock has never failed on me, so maybe the Boyd dent is doing its job there. Guys, all in all, this is just an outstanding EDC knife. It's got pretty much everything you would want. A basic lightweight design, awesome steel, very easy to carry, very robust lock, great method of deployment. You know, it covers all the bases, and it's no wonder why this knife is the most popular knife that Spyderco sells. So, very pleased to have this one, and I also am thankful to be able to weigh in on it, even though it's been reviewed to death. I just wanted to say a few words. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. I'll be back with many more knife reviews. So this is Dan for BladeReviews.com, signing off.